Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Remember to use code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Place your money line, prop, or parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Iowa only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of hashtag Sings Twitter podcast. People might not even listen to our podcast during the off season, bro. People might be so just hurt and like like, what? A Saints spot?
I don't even want to hear about that shit.
It's the meme of the old white guy turned.
Oh man.
But we got some shit to talk about. I talked to Ryan. I said, listen, I want to do an episode because we as fans are transitioning from a 15-year period where what we're transitioning to next season is going to be so unknown to us. And we just don't know how it's going to look. And it was so close for it to not be that way. And we're going to talk about it. So we're going to, kind of go over the Saints dynasty that we should have been talking about. We're going to talk about it on this episode. I know people are like, listen, like, Adam, we just fucking lost to the fucking Bucks in the playoffs. Like, we don't care. We don't care.
Bask in the darkness, baby. Come on.
To use a psychological term, we're going to flood you. Just flood that pain out of you and just cleanse your system. But before we get even into talking about all that stuff, well, we got a lot of stuff to kind of just go over in terms of people leaving this, like the Saints coaching staff, front office just being raided, just devoured. And usually that happens. I mean, a team that has been this successful for this long, it was bound to happen. But usually it comes off a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
They can't even say, like, well, at least we won our Super Bowl. So, like, everyone, like, nah, man. Like, so Terry Fontenot is now the GM of the Falcons. Dan Campbell, head coach of the Lions. He took Aaron Glenn, secondary coach, with him, who's now going to be his defensive coordinator. Ryan Nielsen, who was a defensive line coach, was potentially going to go to LSU to be their DC. And the Saints were like, nah.
Nope.
Baton Rouge, no. Calm your ass down.
Calm your ass down.
Bro, that's
take this little money and this little title. You better fucking sit your ass down, boy.
You ain't going nowhere. It is so funny because there was like this, this part of Twitter is like, I don't know why the Saints are gonna alienate alienate their other fan base of LSU. I'm like, fuck LSU.
The fuck out of you. Get the fuck out of here, man. A pro team, motherfucker.
Come on, fuck, I don't give a damn about LSU. But just like, man, like they've been hit hard, and there's gonna be a lot of changes. We think quarterback wise, team wise, in general. But now they got things to replace in the coaching staff too.
Yeah, oh yeah, buddy. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's You know, I mean, I don't know how they're going to play. You know, with the secondary coach, maybe they go in house. You know, maybe they have some kind of defensive assistant that they want to bring up, or maybe they go looking out in the in the field to see who they could bring in. I don't know, Chris Richard, who was with the Cowboys for a while. He was pretty good. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's with a team or not. He was with the Cowboys. I don't know.
The last I read of him is that the Raiders had brought him in for an interview before they hired Ken. No, they used the picture of Ken Wisenhunt, but who do they?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember.
They hired Gus Bradley.
There you go, the white guy, bald white guy. There it
bald
is.
White guy, yeah. Put fucking Ken Wisenhunt up. What the fuck?
But yeah, so and it's funny. It's interesting you bring him up because I always remembered when the Cowboys were, the seasons that they were good and he was the DC. I remember thinking like he's a good coach. Like that stood out to me. Now I don't.
He was getting a lot of pub as like a a head coach pub, but you know how that go. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's black, so we really know how that go. Sit your ass down, Chris. But with Dennis Allen still staying at defensive coordinator, and that was close to he was interviewing for the Eagles job, but that got filled by someone whose last name I can't even pronounce.
Frank Reich's old offensive coordinator. I ain't never heard of him. I was like, oh,
okay.
All right.
So with DA coming back, I don't know if Chris Richard would want to be a secondary coach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe he would see that too much as a demotion. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that works. Or we got we need to place a tight end coach. I mean, tight end coach is kind of like, what the fuck do they do? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. Like,
well, I will
go get somebody. I don't know.
I will say, and we'll talk about it later in the episode, but Adam Troutman is crucial to to the Saints' upcoming core offensively.
Yeah.
So
get somebody that could develop young players.
Please
maximize that talent. So that's something they're gonna have to feel. And Terry Fontenot going to the Falcons. It's good to see him. I hate that he's going to the Falcons because I hate the Falcons, but it's good to see him. A young black man came up the hard way. Like literally was just like a intern with the Saints at 22 years old and just kind of built himself up, hard working and.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
And you remember Cynthia Freeland was on here.
Yeah, man.
He raved about him, just talking about how smart he was and how nice he was, how he's just such a helpful person.
And he's she said he's one of the good ones. And
that's one of the good ones. So like that's just awesome. And just seeing the video of him just he was talking about what he learned from the Saints, him getting choked up about it and all that stuff. That was that was cool. It's just like, damn, bro, Falcons, bro. But anyway, it's still good to see that. So I hope he fails miserably. I'm sorry, but anyway.
No, like for
I'm sorry. I hope he fails. I don't know.
That number 4 pick. I hope it just fucking flames out.
I hope it's the biggest bust ever. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You ain't a Saint no more, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, enjoy being on the other side of the rivalry, nigga. Like, but it's crazy just to think about the infrastructure that Sean and Mickey has built, and maybe a sneaky move that didn't happen is that Jeff Ireland doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Man, that whole shit still following, bro. Be calling people mama a whore. That shit gonna follow you, man. I'm telling you.
He's like the interviews literally go like an owner be like, so were you the one that asked Daz if his mom was a prostitute? That was you?
We can't bring this guy in.
Oh, bruh.
It's crazy. crazy, bro. Like he really should have a job. Like he really should get a GM job. Just based off the 2017 draft. Like fuck the other drafts. Just that draft. Like man, you should get another crack at the motherfucker. Because it's not like his Dolphin experience was terrible. He had he had misses and he had a couple hits.
Yeah, for sure. Because I remember, it's funny. I remember when he was hired or brought in, like a super fanatic fan at the time. I was like, oh, let me go look at Jeff Ireland's pass with the Dolphins. How sick is that, bro? Like,
bro, I'll never forget your fucking ass sat and did a whole spreadsheet looking at the entire Saints draft since 2000.
Oh yeah, the draft trends, bro.
Oh, Draft Mecca, man. Draft Mecca, where you at?
Oh, man. That's right. That's when I actually had time. I was putting out content, bro. Feels like forever ago.
Oh, man. We was sick, bro.
I sick, bro. I wrote a whole article on it. Like, it's I still have it saved on my computer somewhere, bro.
It was good, man. That shit was some good shit.
I mean, it was. I don't have that in me anymore, bro. Like, that's long
some
ago.
John Sigler type shit.
That shit. Shout out to John Singler. I actually unblocked him last week.
Wow. I can't believe that. I can't believe it.
Didn't follow, but he did get unblocked. It's 2021, new, fresh start. Everyone gets clean. Not everyone, but some people get some fresh starts, clean slates. He's on thin ice. What?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't follow him, so that maybe will save him from me blocking him.
You catch some Chris Nolan slander on my timeline. He back out.
He's gone again, but he is unblocked. It's funny. Like I'm having a great time recording this podcast because I'm not really worried about anything. This fucking team is just
ain't worried.
So we got to talk about it, man. Like it shouldn't be, this team and their future shouldn't be how it is with the upcoming season of this uncertainty. Everyone on Twitter talking about how can we get Deshaun? How can maybe they get Matt Stafford? Are they going to bring Jameis back? Is Taysom the answer? No. By the way, Taysom, that's absolutely fucking not the answer. Just all this uncertainty about the future of the team. But let me start with this before we even get into going back in time. What if Drew just decides I can't go out that way? That like I can't go out like that. And he said, Sean Mickey, I'm coming back next year. What do they do, bro? They have to yell at him? Like,
have some fucking nuts, Sean Payton. No.
You can't bring him back,
done,
bro. You can't bring him back. Can't do it.
You done it, or unless you want to come back because he's under contract, so he can come back. But either they cut him or you want to sit on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Or do you want to leave with some kind of dignity? You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't have to be an asshole about it, but it's like they just need to be straight up. Look, Drew, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a legend here. You're the greatest Saints player of all time. Period. But we're moving on. It's time to start another chapter. It's very simple. You know what I'm saying? It's like, here's what it is. Something they probably should have said probably last year. You know what I'm saying? Like just keeping it buck. But they respected what he's invested into this team, and
right.
I understand it. I get it. But no, at this point, they are the organization. They have to think about the team in the short term and the long term. And bringing Drew back wouldn't be smart. Period. Because it wouldn't be smart for him or the team.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. And I wonder if he's taking his time. The news of Phillip Rivers retired. Like Drew want his proper shine. Like he's like, shit, fucking Phillip Rivers replaced me basically in San Diego. Like I want at least my time. So I get it. I do.
You're gonna get a yellow jacket in 5 years. That's
Period.
the ultimate shine that every player plays for. You
Period.
don't get it. You ending on a shitty pass, have a shitty game in the last playoff game. Nobody gonna remember that shit. Like, can you tell me what happened in Joe Montana's last playoff game? You know what I'm saying? Do you remember Brett Favre's last playoff game? I remember his last playoff game. I remember Brett Favre. I remember Brett Favre's last playoff game. But that's us as Saints fans. But people remember Brett Favre's great career. You know what I'm saying? People remember. Nobody remember Aikman. You know what I'm saying? Nobody remember that. They had a great career. Drew had a fucking great career, man. So he's gonna get a yellow jacket in 5 years. One of the best quarterbacks to ever play. His name is all over the record books. Bruh, you got a Super Bowl championship. Should have been more. But you got one. You brought a trophy to New Orleans, a team that...
What? Say it again. Say it again.
A trophy to New Orleans, a Lombardi trophy to New Orleans. And to y'all youngsters out there, prior to 2009, it was laughable to even think that the Saints would even... It was just like how we used to talk about, if they ever have a black president. It's like, what if they had a black president? Are you crazy?
Like that, the Garrett Hartley kick and, Jim Henderson's emotions, that call, like that was real, bruh.
Kicks have flown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like that. Like, that's why that call is so great, because that's what we used to say. Like, hell to freeze over for the Saints to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
You get to the Super Bowl. Like, get to the Super Bowl. Not win a Super Bowl, just get to it. You know what I'm saying? So he got that. Like, Drew got that. Somebody asked today, like, I think of my dog Brian from the East. He was like, if say Jameis played next season and the Saints went to the Super Bowl and won it, would that ruin Drew Brees' legacy? I'm like, no.
Absolutely not.
His legacy is solidified. He brought the ship to New Orleans, you know what I'm saying?
It's cemented, bruh.
It's cemented, man. Like, you don't have to worry about that.
Like, not only did he bring a championship, which he did, but the amount of success the Saints have had in 15 years, where they don't have the Patriot amount of championships, a lot of that due to shitty defenses and also playing in a tougher conference. But they have had, not maybe as consistently as the Patriots, but they've had a level of success in the NFC that, and as fans, like, you just got to be blessed, bro. Like, just blessed. Like, I get it, the heartaches, we've had some fucking hard aches, bro. But like, the success it's unreal, man. So let's talk about what could have been. So I feel like it's kind of the easy thing to do is just to go back and, everyone's gonna say, well, hindsight's 2020. Well, yeah, hindsight is 2020. That's why we're fucking doing it, though, because this team could look drastically different if different decisions would have been made. And I was going back and I was looking at a couple of drafts, and the draft that stood out to me, I know everyone's going to think I'm going to start with 2017. It wasn't even 2017. It was 2016. That's the Sheldon Rankins draft. And the reason I start with that is, one, I think we, as Saints fans, Sheldon Rankins ain't coming back next season. He's not. Like, he will not be with the team. That's not any inside information. That's not sources. It's just, you have to read the tea leaves. He's gone. Period. He was drafted 12th overall. And in 5 seasons, he's had, 2018 was his best year. He was looking like the next coming of Geno Atkins. And he had some glimpses, but injuries kind of derailed his career, kind of inconsistencies. Let's be honest, like, David Onyemata has been a better and more consistent player than Sheldon Rankins. And I start with that draft because he was drafted 12th overall, and I get the issues that he had coming out of Mississippi State, but like, Chris Jones, like,
hey. And I was a Chris Jones fan. I was a Sheldon Rankins fan. I was a Chris Jones fan. But look, Chris Jones had some suspect tape, but he had his it was a lot of like Robert Kadiche. You know what I'm saying? It was just like some games you look at it's like, what the fuck? He is the most dominant player on the team. And then you look at other snaps, it's like, ugh. Whereas Rankins, he just kind of looked like a good, solid third, three technique. You know what I'm saying? It was just that's a good, solid player right there. You know what I'm saying? So I get the move. I get it. But look, it wasn't a great pick. I mean, it was 12th overall. You didn't get return on your investment. You didn't. You just got to take that.
I'm gonna break a little something here. I probably shouldn't tell this because whatever. I'm gonna tell it anyway. So, funny story going back to that draft. When Laremy Tunsil started to slide, and he was there at 12, Sean Payton was adamant that they should draft Laremy Tunsil.
Of course.
Adamant. Was on the table pounding for him. That was the draft where all the bong and all like the most crazy fucking shit happened. That
crazy,
bro.
That shit was crazy.
He wanted the pick to be Laremy Tunsil. My guess would be they would have drafted Tunsil. They would have put him at right tackle. Teron would still been left tackle, and then they would have their bookends that way. And it was Jeff Ireland that said nope, kind of like overruled and said no, like we're gonna the pick should be Sheldon Rankins, and that's how the pick happened, and then that's how Sheldon was the pick. But I think like you said, Rankins as the pick just wasn't the return on the investment. Like he's been a decent player with the Saints, but he's not what you would envision when you draft someone 12th overall.
Right. And then in the second round, they make up for it with Michael Thomas, a guy you were high on, I do Tony Pauline, first podcast guest. He linked it to him. You put me on him. I was like, yeah, he fits. So, that worked out.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
If he's on the team next season.
We'll see. I think he will be, but yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously that worked out great for the Saints. I'm trying to just take a gander of that draft. Yeah, they drafted Von Bell, who, he's a starter in the NFL.
Yeah, starting safety.
And that's also the draft that they drafted David Onyemata. So you can't hate on him. Oh, that was the Ken Crawley draft.
Oh, Crawley clamps. Did he get drafted or was he?
No,
UDFA, right?
It was yeah. So that's where things kind of started in terms of just some misses, and then 2017, bro. We gotta talk about it. We here. Listen, I've already gone on. I've done my rants. I've done my rants.
Man, look, let it loose. It's your time.
All right, bro. No, many people didn't believe me when I said I watched them, and this was not even me being from Lubbock, had went to Texas Tech myself. Like there was not any that bias. I just watched Patrick Mahomes as a prospect, and I said he's going to be the best quarterback. He's the best quarterback prospect I've ever seen. Period.
You said it.
I said if he hits in the NFL like I think he's going to, he's going to be better than Aaron Rodgers. I said it. And I think, and it's funny too, because I remember what you said is that you said, even if he doesn't hit, I still think he can be Matthew Stafford. Like Matthew Stafford went number 1 overall in the draft, bro. Like
exactly. Like that's how good, like as a quarterback, like you just watch that tape, his tape there, it was so fucking good. Like as a quarterback, It's like, what are you looking for as a quarterback? Can you, like, first thing you look for, can you throw the fucking ball? And he was throwing the bitch, bruh.
Not throwing, and it was. I always came away impressed. Not like how far he can throw, not how hard he can throw, but the accuracy was just
accuracy, the long distance accuracy, and the different angles he threw at and stuff like that. It was just like, this is different. Like, this is different right here. That's why Aaron Rodgers was like a key for me. Like, Aaron Rodgers was the ceiling for me because that's the type of throws Aaron Rodgers would make. But remember, he had a lot of picks at Texas Tech. So I was like, I thought he was like, okay, he's gonna be kind of a little let loose, kind of a Jake, not like Jay Cutler, but
kind of like
he was
like Brett Favre, just old gunslinger, just
slaying. I didn't imagine him being so good. Like, he doesn't turn the ball over, bro. He doesn't do it. Like, he doesn't. When he throws a pick, it's like, oh shit, he throw a pick. Like, that's how it is right now. I didn't think he could elevate to that level.
And then he does all that from the pocket, and then he also has, like, when he makes plays, outside of structure, which that's what he's known for. Like, even thinking about when we played against him, it wasn't.
Oh my god!
It wasn't the plays he made inside of like the pocket. We got killed with him being special outside the pocket and just making insane throws.
It's demoralizing. As a defense, like if you're a cornerback, it's like, what are you supposed to do? And what are you supposed to do?
Honestly, those plays are worse than, like, when you have everything covered and then you have a quarterback scramble. Like, because just the way he makes his plays off script in terms of, like, usually it's a big play. Like that touchdown, you didn't see it. I don't know if you ever saw it after you got home, but the touchdown he threw in the corner of the end zone, like, off script, like it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just ridiculous.
It's like what's supposed to do with that? Like, what?
So the whole Mahomes thing. First of all, in my head, I'm like, all right, maybe the Saints aren't gonna be interested in him. And I remember people was like saying he was a second round pick, he was a third round pick, and I was like, no, like what are you guys watching? Like, this guy is the best player in the draft I've ever seen. And so I was like, all right, we're not going to be interested in him, blah, 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 blah. Then I remember fucking Nick texted me something about, like, hey, I think Sean and Pete went to Lubbock. And I was like, excuse me? Sure enough, like that same day, it comes out that Sean had went to Lubbock and put Patrick Mahomes through a private workout. And so as a football fan who understands football, it's one thing for the head coach himself to go to Lubbock, right? Will you take your offensive coordinator too, Pete Carmichael? Then it's like, oh, okay, all right. And then the way the draft just starts unfolding, man, just like, in my head, like, I was like, man, just take 5. Just take 5.
What a great fucking draft, bro.
Bro, like, are you looking at it? It's ridiculous, bro.
No, I'm not even looking at it, but I'm just thinking about it, like, not even who we drafted, but just the way it fell, and the talent that was available. That's a ridiculous draft, man. And
it worked, and the way it worked out for him to even be there was just crazy, because there was like that huge run on wide receivers, right? It was Corey Davis going to Tennessee at 5. Mike Williams went to the Chargers at 7. And the biggest surprise was John Ross going to the Bengals at 9. So all that talent had, like, pushed Mahomes and Watson down, right? And so I'll never forget, I'm driving to San Diego to meet up with my girl to watch the draft. That's our tradition we've had for a while now. And I'm not going to say no name, but a source who had been historically right about the Saints' first-round draft picks the last couple of years, I get a text. It says it's 5. I said, excuse me? I almost pulled off to the side of the road, Ryan. If he's there, he's the pick. And I said, oh, shit, it's about to happen. And sure enough, the Bengals are out the Bills are on the clock at 10. Think about this. Like, they got their quarterback the next year, but they could have had Patrick Mahomes the year before. Like, I'm becoming a Josh Allen believer, But I still think there's a huge huge difference in terms of talent gap between the two. But whatever. Right. So the Bills were on the fucking clock at 10, and then the trade happens in Kansas City, and I was like, oh shit. Oh god damn it, what's gonna happen? And then there it was. They take him, and all that said and done, at 11, it's still crazy because we're thinking of all these crazy scenarios that the Saints could trade for Deshaun Watson. They could have just taken him at 11 in 2017, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
And I still remember that Sean Payton interview, whether it was Florio, whoever it was, and they was talking about Watson, and Sean Payton goes, "Yeah, man, there's something about him. Like he's special." And it's, I wish I knew. Like to be in the draft room that night for it to unfold. I wish.
I would love to know just what was being said. I would just love to know.
I just wanted to know, I guess and I wasn't around a lot during the week of the Chiefs game because of work or whatever, but I wish someone would have, one Saints beat writer would have had the balls to say, you guys have never shied away from trading up when you guys have identified your player in the draft. Why that draft? Saints fans who are listening, he was Patrick Mahomes was the number one rated player on the Saints board that draft year. Number one at every player. So why, as a team, when you've always shown the propensity to get your guy, why did you sit on your hands? Was it you didn't want the potential optics of how it would have looked if?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to draft your quarterback of the future. But when you trade, even if it was a fourth round, whatever, when you trade up to draft a quarterback and Drew's still on the team,
I think it was twofold, man. It was twofold. It was one, the optics, and two, you have to weigh in what the Saints were coming off. They were coming off 3 7-9 seasons. So, and Sean Payton had already flirted with leaving the team like twice, like 15 and 16. And it was a win now mode. It was a win now mode. They didn't have time. The way they were looking at it was like, didn't have time to develop a quarterback. Do we want to develop a quarterback right now? Do we want to do all this? It was a win now mode. Let's get the best team. Drew, like he said, since he had begun to contemplate retirement, Drew came back at like a kind of a team friendly sort of deal. So it's like, let's just roll with Drew. Let's build the best team we can around him and go win. Like that's just the approach they took.
That's just crazy because
it's a battle of, it's just like every human deals with. It's time preference. It's short-term thinking versus long-term thinking. Do I when I get paid on Friday, do I take $100 out and put it on the side for a rainy day? Or do I just look at my check as, what I could spend right now? It's the same mindset. And they took the time preference approach of let's win now. Let's go to win now. We don't have time to think about the future.
But they did though, because if Buffalo doesn't make, so let's say Buffalo would have stayed pat, and let's say they would have taken Marshawn, right? Mahomes would have been the pick.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
So it's just it's a weird dichotomy.
I really think Lattimore being there really, remember that was the same offseason he was ready to go for broke to get
Malcolm Brown or Malcolm Butler.
No, Malcolm Butler. Yeah, yes, exactly.
It was.
But so they really like, you remember 2016 and 2015, the cornerbacks we had. It was a dumpster fire, bro. Like
Ghost Boy, Sterling Moore.
Was that the Dixon twins?
Yeah,
I don't even remember, man. Like, so it was like we need a cornerback, man. It's like, so I just wish I could have had a video of that war room, man, because I'm sure Aaron Glenn was in there screaming. I'm sure everybody was just screaming like, "No, we need this. No fucking quarterback for this go sit." Because if you remember, man, like the NFL thought that Patrick Mahomes was a developmental quarterback.
They
That's
thought,
what they thought.
Yes, the most, like the highest you would see him going. Because I believe, if I remember correctly, Houston was picking like in the 20s, and a lot of mocks had him going to like Houston, like mid to late first round. And I really think that really played a factor into them not moving, and the optics, because I think that knowing Sean Payton and kind of how, I won't say arrogant he can be, but I look at it as he thought that no one has viewed him as the type of quarterback I envision him being. And so at 11, he's going to be there and he's going to be the pick. And I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about anyone, going up to, to getting him. I think that, again, coming with some of the arrogance, maybe if it doesn't get leaked that he goes to fucking Lubbock with Pete Carmichael to work him out, like if it was a Blake Bortles situation where I'm explaining how the Jags drafted Blake Bortles, not him as a player, but they loved Blake Bortles. The Jags were picking number 3 overall the year that they drafted Blake Bortles. And if you listen to their GM talk about why it was such a shock that he was taken so highly,
he ain't tell nobody.
Nobody.
He was taking trips to games, and nobody even knew he was going there.
Nobody, bro. Like, I remember that. Like, it was such a secret because they kept it that way. I don't know how it leaked that Sean went to fucking Lubbock. I don't know, but I don't know, man. But Mahomes aside, I think to your point of like the optics in terms of the defense and all that, that may have been why. And we don't know how they graded Deshaun, right? Because, if they had graded him that highly, or if he was on the same tier, then he probably may have been the pick over Lattimore. But if you just think about how altering, like in the 2017 draft was one of the greatest fucking like top-notch draft,
bro, top-notch, man.
Like,
but just the fact that they couldn't go wrong right there. They couldn't go wrong. They couldn't go wrong, man.
I don't know, bro.
They could have traded. They could have traded up for. They could have traded up for Mahomes. They could have, Lattimore. They had other players there. I mean, it was just such a great draft.
I don't know if you can say they couldn't go wrong, only because in terms of the NFL, you always, if you have an elite quarterback, that's always going to win out over whoever it is.
Oh, of course,
So
they traded 4 great seasons for 15 good seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the trade. That's the trade they had,
bro.
But it's impossible to know.
It is.
But at the same time, it's impossible to know that Lattimore was going. You remember Lattimore was, constantly dealt with hamstrings,
injured.
At Ohio State, injured. He only really started for like a year, so he didn't have much experience. So, that was a gamble too. You know what I'm saying? That was a legitimate gamble. So, I mean, it's just something I know, like he'll never admit it. Sean Payton would never admit it. But I know it's something he lay back in his bed and he's like, fuck. Why wasn't I more forceful with it? Why wasn't it? You know what I'm saying?
It's his biggest mistake as a head coach for the Saints.
It is. It is, man. It is. You can't miss. And it was so funny today because in his presser he talked about how the quarterback is often poorly evaluated in the NFL draft. I'm like, bro, look in the fucking mirror, man. Like, what?
Bro, it'd be one thing if Sean like watched Mahomes and was like, nah, he's trash. Like he's not gonna be like he accurately evaluated him and still like said it's crazy.
And Watson.
So let's look at the sliding doors thing, right? So let's say they would have gotten Mahomes. Let's say they traded up like a 5th round pick to secure whatever. In the
Fourth,
draft, whatever. In the draft ended up being Mahomes, Reuben Foster, Marcus Williams, AK. As opposed to Lattimore, Ramczyk, Marcus, AK.
We took AK in the 2nd round, right?
No, 3rd.
Third round. Okay.
So that was I want to say we took Anzalone and AK in the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the Reuben Foster throwing me off because would we still have drafted him? Because San Francisco still would have traded up.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. Yes.
So you'd have Ramczyk. You would have had Mahomes, Ramczyk, and who else?
Marcus and AK.
Marcus Williams and AK. It's a damn good fucking draft, bro. It's a damn good draft. And look, most likely they go 8-8 that season, maybe.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe.
8-8.
Because the defense, like, Lattimore was so key to that 2017
He was, bro.
season.
And
he was so fucking good.
But he hasn't reached that level of play since.
No. Like just the way he was so fucking good, bro. So, it would have been a down season and they would have had to say bye to Drew Brees. Because Sean Payton would have been watching Patrick Mahomes in practice just like Andy Reid did, man. Andy Reid couldn't wait to get Alex Smith out of there.
Get him out of here.
Out of here, dog.
Send him to Washington so fast, bro.
Go fast, man. Get out of here, man. What do you want? What do you need? Okay, here. Like, go. Damn it. Like Saints fans kill me when we talk about this. They'll be like, well, we couldn't do that because Mahomes would have been sitting on the bench for 3 or 4 years. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You think Mahomes would sit on the bench for 3 or 4 years?
That's the thing that Saints fans were actually saying?
They say that all the time. Every time we talk about this, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't think Sean Payton can see? You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks who ever played football. Like, that's not
football.
That's not hyperbole. Like, can you let's stop, people. Let's stop. I love Drew.
In a Sean Payton offense.
I love Drew. I love Drew. Love him. Love him. Sean would have had one season of practice, or all the practices for a season, all the practices through training camp, and he's like, "Oh, I can do what with my playbook?" Excuse me.
And meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes at practice on a scout team throwing blind, no look passes and throwing sidewinder passes and shit. Like, it's Sean Payton to be like, fuck, man, Drew, it was good knowing you, brother. Got to go. You're a legend, man. Legend. But you gotta go. And Drew Brees, I don't know if he would have retired. He probably would have went to the Broncos or.
I still say Broncos or Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah. And I would have hated to see that, but man, that's life, man. Like, fuck, it happens.
So that was the draft that really broke my heart. But the next draft, 2018, this draft right here, let me ask you this: are the Saints going to pick up Marcus Davenport's 5th-year option?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, seriously, I do not know, man. I do not know. I can't even answer the question of would I do it?
Come on, man.
One part of me it's guaranteed money. He ain't shown shit. Then another part of me is man, Saints D line is on a decline after this year. Man, we need to keep everything we can in the stable. Fuck the money. Do what you got to do. He's in the house, keep him. So that's where I'm at. But but that's where you're at. It's unfortunate you traded a 1st-round pick from the future and using your current 1st-round pick to go up and get this guy.
Let me break it down. Saints were picking 27th overall.
Yeah.
That was after the Minnesota Miracle playoff run. 27 overall. And this year they're picking 28th overall. Not much ain't changed. They traded up from 27 to fucking 14. Bruh. To do that, they had to give up the 27th pick, 2019's first. I think I'm probably missing something. It may have been more on top of that. I don't even know at this point. It makes me.
It was more.
It had to be
some kind of flip of a pick. I don't know.
Whatever. And if you make that type of move, and you're in a win now mode, right? Because they were. You got to get that pick right.
It's got to get it right.
You got to get it right, Ryan. You must get that pick right. And he has not been that guy. This is not me ragging on Marcus as a player. This is just me being real. He hasn't been that guy. Period. And injured, inconsistent play. He doesn't, he's been in the league, 4-ish years now, doesn't show any type of development. Like where are your pass moves, bro?
Huh. Like straight bull rush.
Come on now. So this move, honestly, to me, is, if we want to talk about the potential Saints dynasty that was not to be, this is a move that spearheaded it. It wasn't I know missing on Mahomes is bad, not getting Deshaun is bad, but this move is a crusher. It's a crusher because not only do you not get the player, you don't hit on the player, but you don't have the draft capital and first round picks. It's a gamble, but when you hit on them, they're huge dividends because you keep a player for 5 years at a reasonable contract price. They're young, you control their rights. I mean, that sounds kind of slave mentality, but that's just how the NFL is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just huge dividends. And so for them to miss on Marcus, and they potentially could have drafted someone like Jair Alexander, whoever, that to me, that's the crusher. Honestly, that's the move that has really set the franchise back because it was such a blunder of not properly evaluating talent.
And that was also the Lamar Jackson draft.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And he went what, 32?
32.
Yeah.
So that was 3 potential opportunities.
And that was when Mike Mayock, he
had
100% sure.
He had me believing it was Lamar.
I don't know who his source was, man, but he believed it himself, man. He believed that shit. It's Sean Payton's about to draft Lamar Jackson. He's been da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh shit, we about to do this? He about to do this?
No.
Nope. I had to look this motherfucker up, because that was the. Bruh, I was like, who the fuck? Marcus Davenport? What school?
Where? University of Texas of El Paso.
And I Google him. The first thing I read is something about him like an anime. Football, not his first love. I'm like, oh. What is this shit?
Traquan Smith has arguably become a better player than Marcus Davenport, bro.
Oh, that's just sad.
At least Traquan puts it in the paint, bro.
Put it in the paint, bro. Like the dude catch touchdowns. You can't say that. That motherfucker catch touchdowns.
I said after they drafted Marcus Davenport, I really think that the lasting images of the Minnesota game in the playoffs just stuck with Sean.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the analogy, if anyone's ever seen, Age of Ultron, when Scarlet Witch, Wanda gets in fucking Tony Stark's head and puts that fucking vision of the world ending and whatever, if he doesn't, to me, yeah, Sean's if we just would have had another fucking pass rusher, that 10 seconds. Just
that's the key right there, bro.
Get the Case Keenum.
That's every year though. Every year, like Sean is obsessed with what causes them to lose. It obsesses him.
It's funny because I wrote one of my draft meta articles was on that, bro. Like when it was the Legion of Boom, and that was plaguing the Saints and whatever. What did Sean try to do? Let's go get Brandon Browner. Let's draft Stanley Jean Baptiste.
Pay Jerry's Bird, make him the highest safety in history.
Didn't work out. When the Cowboys had their renaissance, and it was largely due to their offensive line with I can't even think of their names right now. A lot of them are fucking hurt and retiring. With Tyron Smith and was it Nick? One of the fucking Martins. And had their offensive line renaissance. What do? Let's draft Andres Pete.
Yeah.
And he has this thing where if it's working in the league or if it's worked against him, that's what he wants. He's even done this with, we know how he's done it with players on other teams. He's like, oh shit. What was the safety's name that we signed from Carolina?
Oh, fucking shit. What's his goddamn name? I forgot. Oh man.
I can't even think of it, bro. He went to Ohio.
I can't think his name. Yeah.
The only good thing he did was he caused that fumble in that Steelers game in 2018.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only good thing he did.
It was horrible. But yeah, if you're another team and you diagnose his scheme well on defense, Sean's just like, oh my God, he's such a great player. I gotta get him in it. I gotta get him. Man, look, I gotta get him in the team. All the time, bro.
Every time. It never fails. And so I really think that Minnesota game, he was plagued with this thought of, if we could have just got to Case, we would have been to fucking Philly. We would have won in Philly. And that's where it kind of just, we got to go get him. We evaluated him. He's the guy. We got to go get him. In 2 years, in 2017 and 2018, the Saints had 3 opportunities to draft their quarterback of the future. Mahomes, I know people are going to say, well, technically Mahomes wasn't there when the Saints were drafting. They could have fucking got him. Shut up.
They could have got him.
Deshaun Watson, who was there, Lamar Jackson. All those 3 players, let me break some down. Mahomes, MVP. Lamar Jackson, MVP. Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP. Deshaun Watson, do I need to remind Saints fans last season, the opener of Monday Night Football?
Smoked.
Some of those throws Deshaun was making,
bruh.
The throw to Kenny Stills that, if it wasn't for Drew Brees being amazing, should have ended the game. Come on, man. This is the shame, Deshaun Watson, and it's crazy because you sent me the picture when you think about where the Texans are as an organization. That last year in the playoffs, we're up 24-0 against the Chiefs,
bro.
In the divisional round.
Been downhill ever since.
Come on. Three chances to land either of those guys, either of them, and it didn't happen. And so now, as fans, what Sean's doing, what we're formulating, what could happen is how do we fix this quarterback position for next season? It should have been fixed already. They had their chances already. And now we're, let me ask you, where do you put the Saints? Just not knowing anything, give me what you think the Saints record may be next season.
Well, I think if I'm like 70% sure Jameis Winston is going to be the starting quarterback. So I say with Winston and with the moves they will have to make this offseason, I think they're about between 8 to 10 wins.
I was thinking the exact same. Like yeah.
I would 10 wins.
Yeah, 8 to 10, maybe 7 to 10. That can keep them going 7 to 9
that's definitely possible. Because I think the defensive line is going to take a huge drop off. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to pay Trey Hendrickson. And if they do pay him, I still don't think it matters. I think Cam Jordan is in decline. You're losing Sheldon Rankins. Malcolm Brown is leaving. I think the defensive line is going to take a big step down. Malcolm Jenkins is going to be older. Janoris Jenkins is going to be older. Lattimore in the contract year. You're probably going to be out with Marcus Williams, but maybe even if they bring him back, it's just going to be. We don't know who's going to be linebacker next to Demario Davis.
We haven't even talked about that fucking draft. It should be Zach Bond, bruh.
Bruh, like when we get to that 2020 draft, bruh, that shit ugly. I was like, dang, like that was a fucking horrible draft. Horrible draft. That was a horrible draft. I don't give a fuck. Maybe Ruiz turns out to be like a good player, but I don't see it right now. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Like maybe he does. I'm not saying he doesn't. He maybe he's lights as far as a center, but what about Eric McCoy? I don't know. But that's a horrible looking draft. Zach McCoy. I mean, someone said Zach McCoy. What the fuck? Zach Bond. Like, bro, like, what am I supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, listen. We watched Zach Bond as a player at Wisconsin, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it, Ryan. You didn't see it. I didn't see it. I was like,
trust me. You could go back and listen to our podcast talking about it.
Come on, bro. I mean, we not no football experts, but like we can watch some football and like we either see it or we don't. We didn't see it. You take a linebacker in the third round, bro, and he can't barely get on the field. We got some problems.
You try to see Ruiz. You had Patrick Queen there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he wasn't a big Patrick Queen fan, but like, he had a good year for the Ravens. You know what I'm saying?
He had a decent year for the Ravens, but he was getting abused in pass coverage, just like Anzalone. So like,
he does, man. That athleticism, man, it's like, come on, man. Like,
I mean, all right. So let's before we get to the 2019 draft, let me talk about why the trading up for Davenport was such a huge blunder for the Saints. So 2019, the year that offseason, Matt Unger retires, right? So you know that they gotta do something around in the center position. They're still a high top, echelon team, trying to do a lot in the playoffs, going far in the playoffs. They're trying to get over the hump, get to the Super Bowl, all that, right? That's the year that they drafted Eric McCoy in the second round. Great pick. Great, fantastic pick. But like, even if, Eric McCoy in the second round, the word on the street was the Saints were very high on A.J. Brown.
Oh, really?
Very high on A.J. Brown. It seems like them picking Eric McCoy at 48 was 100% more of a needs pick than the best player available.
Yeah.
I can't confirm this, but it is heavily implied that if the Saints had a first round pick that year, I don't know if they would have went McCoy in the first and then maybe A.J. Brown would have been there at 48, or if it would have just been they just would have taken A.J. Brown at 48 or excuse me, in the first round. But that's the ramifications of not having a first round pick because you traded it up for Marcus Dell. Because then you can't, like, you're hamstrung. Like you gotta you're fucked with what you're given.
Time preference, man. Time preference. It means so much, dude. It means so much. So it affects, it's like a butterfly effect, you know what I'm saying? It has ripples throughout time, and it affects everything. So, that's something, and that's just how they operated. They've operated like this for years of just, going for broke, win now. Let's just take a short term approach, and not let's eat the short term pain for long term gain. You know, that's just Sean Payton. Like the team is Sean Payton's team. It's his personality, and that's just how they approach it. And it's good sometimes because look, I like aggressiveness. I like a motherfucker that's gonna go up in the draft and get who they want when they get the right player. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I like going up and get Alvin Kamara. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that shit. Like, go get him. You have conviction in that player. Go get him. You know, I like that shit. I like trading for somebody, or you know what I'm saying, like doing some cap gymnastics just to make it work to draft. You know, just to sign somebody. I love that shit. But there's a cost, man. There's always a cost. Always a cost.
It is, and it's just frustrating of how things have, you know, it could have been different, bro. Like it could have been very different. So anyone who's listening to me, or listen to this podcast, know that 2017 was really bad. But if you want to pinpoint like when shit took us from potentially being a dynasty, I think you got to really pinpoint 2018 and trading for Marcus and all. It's been a blunder since. And then let's close it out. Let's talk about this 2020 draft, bro.
Oh man.
24. They draft Cesar Ruiz. You know, not whatever. They had been fed up with Warford, got him out of there, sent him packing. They brought back everyone's favorite Andres Pete during the offseason. Yay. And it's so crazy because one thing we've harped on is Mike Thomas needs more help, whatever. So we thought that was solved with signing Emmanuel Sanders. But in one of the most deepest drafts for wide receivers, a lot of us as fans were like, we need to take a wide receiver at 24. We got Sanders, you know, we got Thomas, but like, what if Mike Thomas got hurt? I remember that, something that was talked about. What if he got hurt, right? So then if Mike Thomas gets hurt, then you're back at, you know, back to where you were at before. And what happened this season? Mike Thomas gets hurt.
Week 1. In meaningless garbage time, too.
Meaningless garbage time. So and who was drafted right after Cesar Ruiz? Brandon Ayuk.
But the craziest thing is the second round of wide receivers is better than the first round. Like, they had so many good wide receivers going in the second round. So like they could have traded down. They could have done so many things to gather more picks.
First pick taken of the first round, Bengals. It's proven to be that I might have been wrong about him being my wide receiver 1, but still show that he's a damn good player. T. Higgins, followed by Michael Pittman Jr. Come on. And, you know, there's just so much talent. KJ Hamler was in the second round. Chase Claypool was in the second round.
Chase Claypool, Chenault, he went way later, right?
Chenault went 42. So he went like, you know, kind of higher in the second. And then the third round, the Saints drafted Zach Bond at 74. And oh man, I thought Adam Trautman was a third round pick. I guess not. I guess he was a fourth round pick. No, it was a third round pick. So I'm talking about the 2020 draft because when you have an all-in team ready to fucking play for a Super Bowl, all in, you can't miss on a draft like 2020. You can't miss on a draft like that.
But and it's funny because it's like that's when they decided to punt. That's when they said, well, none of these guys can make our team anyway, so let's just get some good players and you know develop them, and hey, it'll be all right. Like I don't know what goes through this team's mind, man. Like I just wonder sometimes, bro. Like I just was like, what the fuck?
If
Fuck are they thinking, bro?
If you take the 2020 draft and the 2018 draft after the Traquan pick, like those are some terrible draft selections. Yeah. Like that was like the Kareem Moore, like that's the year that all the rookies got cut except for Davenport and Traquan. That was
me and Nick was talking about this, man. It was like
Rick Leonard, who's not even in the league anymore, bruh.
Rick Leonard. I forgot about that motherfucker.
I remember when they drafted him, like places didn't even have like a picture for that dude.
Bruh, I'm so tired of those. And I'm so tired of those type of drafts.
Natrell Jamerson, Kareem Moore.
Who
is? Can I say so? You know who the Saints drafted in the 6th round in 2018? Boston Scott. Is he becoming a better player than Marcus Davenport? I don't know, man.
Man, that's my dude. He's on my fantasy team. You heard me?
I don't know, man. Boston Scott looked real good in spurts this year for the Eagles, bro. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
So
you know, I mean, I don't know, bro. It's like so people get all confident. You're like, yeah, we're gonna draft. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Bro, I watched two games of Trey Lance of North Dakota State, and I said, what? I felt like I was Obi-Wan. Like, turn it off. Can't watch this anymore. Not gonna do it to myself, bro. But I will ask you. You know, we went down memory lane. You know, talk some draft pain. Talk why the Saints don't have a dynasty. You know, every fan wants that. You know, they want that transition, right? They want that Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Even though it was short-lived, Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck. Like they want that. The Saints don't got that. I'm excited to see what Jameis can do in a Sean Payton offense, but the Saints don't got that, right? But how can it be fixed? You know, so my question to you, and we'll talk about this, you know, we got a long time to talk about it, but is this a year where if there's conviction, do they go up and get a guy? But they're at 27. So if they going up to get a guy, they got to go up. Or maybe is someone going to drop to them that they like? I don't know, like a Mac Jones. What is it? Trading for Stafford? Is it rolling with Jameis? Is it, you know, if you can, Sean Payton could get in Deshaun Watson's DMs and say, yo, make them trade you to New Orleans and be an asshole about it. Like, how is it fixed? How do you fix it?
Well, with Deshaun Watson, I would at least try to put a package together, a realistic package, and just make an offer to the Texans. They'll probably hang up immediately. But just try it. Like, just go ahead and take a shot. Like, shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying? They'll hang up. Then move on. It would be ideal to draft a quarterback, but don't force it. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a quarterback you believe in. Like, do your fucking homework. Make a grade without bias. And take a guy you really believe in. Don't just draft a guy that's like, oh, okay, maybe we could turn him into something. Maybe
don't draft a Garrett Grayson.
Garrett Grayson and none of that. No. Like if you see a guy you feel like okay, this is a franchise quarterback right here. You go get him. Like I don't care what you got to give up to move up to get him. If you have that conviction, you go get him. You know what I'm saying? So,
don't try to overcorrect a mistake by overcorrection. Like, yeah, like you fucked up Patrick Mahomes. Like you did that. You didn't draft Deshaun, but don't try to so overcorrect that mistake by fucking up the future, which could even harm the team even further.
Exactly. Like, so just remove all the outside noise, all the bias, all that. Look at the player on the tape and make a truthful grade. Go work him out personally. Collect all the information possible, and then with conviction, make that decision. So I'm all right if they draft a guy. If they don't, I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? If not that, I think you just like your best option is Jameis, at least for this year. I mean, this year, like that's your best option as far as like how much he's going to cost, because it's going to be tight against the cap, and the fact that you've had him in the building. You know what I'm saying? You've had him in the building, he knows your playbook, so you know what you get. So at least you're competitive, but at the same time, you have a chance to kind of reset your roster, because I think they're going to need to. It's going to be ugly. This year is going to be kind of ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think the defensive line is going to take a step back. I think that'll affect the whole defense. I don't think the defense is going to be as good this coming season.
But what you lose in what the defense might not be as good. Do you think with Jameis at quarterback,
you gain some things with offense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say it's kind of going to be a gift and a curse in some ways, because I think you can wind up having a better offense this season than you've had in a long time. I think Mike Thomas. I think you'll see glimpses of Mike Thomas if he's on a team that you haven't seen in years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think we'll see. I think we'll see if he's on the team. I think we'll see him in ways that he hadn't been used before. Completely.
Yeah. Like slant boy, like my dude Rev Deuce Wyndham or whatever his name is. My dude Rev, he's been posting videos on Twitter of like just Drew Brees from 14, 15, 16. 2012, Drew Brees was slaying, and he was showing like Mike Thomas was getting deep in 2016, his rookie year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Back with Drew Brees, he was getting downfield. You know what I'm saying? And it just hadn't been able to use him that way, and he's still been a dog. But you get Jameis, man, like somebody that could buy time and get the ball downfield, man. Like you gonna see a different Mike. It ain't gonna be slant boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's some speedster or nothing, but you know what I'm saying? He's going to get downfield and make some big plays for you. So, I think the offense could be exciting. And I think the team can be exciting. But, I mean, look, man, like Jameis Winston, he played for 5 years. He started for 5 years. So, like, we kind of know what he is.
Yeah.
So he's a goofball, bro. Like, he's going to make plays. He's going to throw a touchdown. He's going to throw for yards. He's going to throw for picks. He's going to fumble the ball. Like, that all goes into it. You know what I'm saying? If now maybe he reforms some kind of way, okay, I'll take it. But all I can go is like the history. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where we have right now. I don't know if this is the year they go and draft a quarterback. I think they.
I mean, they're in such a shitty position to do so, bro. Like they're picking 28.
They really are.
And that's why that whole 17 draft 17 and 18 just lingers over them, bro. Because like 17, you're picking 11, 18, you trade up to 14, and Lamar's there. Like y'all had your chances if y'all wanted your quarterback. Like that was it, bro.
But also that said, I mean, it's the feeling that you got to pick top 2 or 3 to get your quarterback. But man, if you just look at the history of quarterbacks just in the past 20 years, like it's rare that those top 2 or 3 quarterbacks work. Like it's just rare, bro. Like that's just how. And it has nothing to do with that. It's just such a fucking crapshoot, bro. You don't know. Like even if you have a quarterback now that you feel good about that you've had for like 2 or 3 years, you don't know. You don't know if Baker Mayfield gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? You don't know.
I'm still not 100%.
Like Lamar Jackson. How much do you pay Lamar Jackson? Seriously. Like, bro, and I love Lamar.
We talking real talk right now.
You talking about somebody who loves Lamar, bro? Like that's my dude. Been rocking with him since Louisville.
You pay Lamar
pay him
40 million?
45? That's what I'm saying. You pay him Lamar $45 million a year? Because that's the rate.
Can't do it, bro. Can't do it, bro.
I'm just saying, man. So it's hard, man. It's very hard. It's a very hard position to evaluate. It's very hard to get right. So, yeah.
You call up your homeboy, Dan Campbell. You say, Dan, I'm gonna give you this 28th pick, and next year's second round pick, you trade us Matt Stafford, clean and easy. What do you say as a fan?
If I was a fan, I'd be fucking for it. Like, come on now. Like, Matt Stafford is a top 10 quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback. So I would love to get him. I worry a little bit due to the injuries.
The injuries, yeah, man.
The injuries scare the shit out of me. Like, he seems like a breaking down guy.
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't trip about the draft capital because, I mean, okay, it's a first round pick, blah, blah, whatever. But the money got to be right. The money got to be right. He can't come here and be like, I want $40 million.
Oh,
no, I wouldn't do it. Not even 35. I ain't gonna lie, not even 35. Like, it has to be like a deal that's not super team friendly, but a deal that we could get out. You know what I'm saying? If shit go bad, we can hit the exit. You know what I'm saying? Like that we won't drag the team down for 3 or 4 years and we still paying Matthew Stafford. No. It would have to be right. It would have to be right. So we'd have to work with his agent, behind the scenes and make sure it's all right. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes. But other than that, I was like thinking about all this shit. Oh, excuse me. Rev, like posting them videos just had me thinking about 2014 through 16, man. Like that was the end of Drew Brees' prime.
Yes.
Those years. And such a missed opportunity, man. Like, damn.
And that's why the no call will just always reverberate.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like,
that's why it's like a dagger in our heart, man, because
yes.
It's like outside fans don't get it. They're like, oh, y'all just complaining. It's like, nah, man, that's like, that's like, say you fucking, I don't know, you went to college, like you finally got to college. Say you never went to college, and as an adult, you finally got to college and you passed all your classes and you made it and you were ready to go graduate, but then at the last minute, they just pulled some shit where you couldn't graduate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you overcome all this adversity and you cheated out of it, man. It's like, man, that is the worst, bro.
It's the worst, bro. And I have, listen, man, I think they would have waxed the Patriots, bro. Like that 18 team.
Oh,
like,
man.
They would have waxed
them. We know they would have, bro. 2 weeks rest? Oh, come on, man.
They would have waxed them, bro. That's why it hurts. So you brought up Jameis. We'll wrap up. We'll start winding this down. No, we've been talking a while. What do you pay Jameis to bring him back?
That's the question I've been bringing up all day, bro. Everybody like, oh, we got Jameis next year. I'm like, he's not signed. He ain't signed.
Like, what do you pay him?
Oh, they're like, everybody's like, oh, he's gonna be with the team. I'm like, he ain't with the team.
Are they doing like a backward like backhand deal that like I don't know, like we don't know about? Like it's already.
And it's like, I don't know. Like, what do you pay him? Oh, he's gonna take a team for the deal. How do you know that? Like, you don't know shit, man. Like, he's not signed. He's not signed. We have no idea what he's gonna be paid. We have no idea if he's gonna be with the team. We have no idea. Like, that's the fact right now. That's the fact of the situation right now. So everybody's like, oh, he's gonna be. It's like, no, you don't know. You don't know. Think it. Like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be with the team, but I still don't know. So right. I can't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea what you pay him. I personally, I don't think teams are gonna be going crazy to sign him because it's like, okay, he's not like he showed anything this season, and it's not like there's a big QB needy market out there, just like last year. So I don't see like him being like wooed by other teams or something like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, we got to see how it works out. We don't know. But I think they'll bring him back, and probably they're not going to pay him $1 million because they're going to expect him to be the starter.
Right.
So I imagine something like 15 to 20 million, something like that, probably with a lot of incentives and stuff like that.
So that said, what the fuck do they do with Taysom, bro?
Taysom gonna be here, man. He getting paid the big bucks. So it's like, do your job, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the backup. He's gonna be the Swiss Army knife. They probably keep Trevor Siemian as just another backup. So I mean, I think they all three of them are gonna be here. Yeah, maybe not Siemian, maybe somebody else, but I know Taysom and I think Taysom and Peyton kind of got to understand it, and because Taysom, it's cold out there. Really, like Taysom, bro. Nobody wants you. Nobody's gonna bring you on to start. You know what I'm saying? Like that ship has sailed. So it's interesting, bro.
It is. It's fascinating. There are days where it's very easy for me to be like, yeah, don't give two shits. Like, and like not think about it at all. But there's other days where I'm just like, we gonna see.
I'm fascinated by it, man. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by the past. I'm fascinated going forward. But yeah, they weigh you out, man. But I keep thinking about that damn Bronx Tale. You seen that movie?
Which movie?
A Bronx Tale.
It's been forever, but yes, I have.
My favorite movie, probably like top
Is that
5.
the where he talks about if the girl doesn't open your door or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Robert De Niro and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. But top 5 movie for me. But he always Sonny. He says, the worst thing in the world is wasted talent. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I feel about the Drew Brees era Saints, man. It's like, man, wasted fucking talent, man. Like, I'm appreciative for that one Super Bowl. I'm appreciative for the winning and all that stuff. But there's no reason this team shouldn't have won 2 or 3, man. No reason, man.
None.
It's just ridiculous, man. But we've had we had like, I don't want to hear it, bro. We had like 3 or 4 of the historically worst defenses to ever exist.
You know what's crazy is that as many people love fellacioing Aaron Rodgers, and don't get me wrong, he's a great quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, that might change this season, but he's only won 1 Super Bowl himself.
Exactly.
Like, it's hard, bro.
It's hard. It's hard to win Super Bowls, bro. Like, the Patriots have skewed that little view.
Yes.
But, like, just remove the Patriots out of the equation, man.
Like, think about it. Think about how quickly the Eagles have deteriorated in 3 seasons, bro.
Bro. 3 seasons, man. They just won a Super Bowl, and we're like the beauty of the NFL.
Bro, and Doug Peterson, gone. And
unemployed.
Carson Wentz probably is going to be back, but, like, probably on a short lease. Like, bruh, it's crazy. But I told you, I did say, if for whatever reason, if Patrick Mahomes wins his second Super Bowl and second Super Bowl MVP, I'm just going to deactivate my account, bro.
It's probably going to happen, bro. Like,
just go deactivate it, bro.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, he's that guy. He's going to have 2, 3, 4 rings when he's done.
Yeah, it's
because he got the right coach, just the right player. Like, perfect match, man. Only other match that would have been was.
Oh, stop it! All right, in this fucking podcast. Well, anyway, we have like Ryan said on the last episode, we have some things planned. This off season. Keep you guys engaged. I know maybe most people don't want to think about football right now, but I mean, it's always something to talk about. Like whether it be Saints related, NFL related, or fucking even not football related. I know that a lot of our listeners are fans of our Not Football podcast. And so that is 100% something that Ryan and I plan to have more of non-football related episodes, especially as the offseason is approaching. With the draft and all that, there's going to be some draft episodes, which, but whatever, we'll do it. The older I get, the more I become about the draft. But I've already watched two games of Trey Lance, so I can't. So here.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit.
Here it starts. But thanks for all our listeners, all our supporters.
Oh,
go ahead.
Just wanted to mention, no combine this year. Yeah,
no combine. It's going to be strictly all pro days and interviews, and it's funny too because if you listen to like what a lot of GMs their process really doesn't change. Like they're fine with it. I think it's a media blow more than anything.
Because the whole league is in one place at one time. A lot of news comes out at the combine and shit like that. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's a little different.
The world we living in, bro. World we living in. Anyway, I hope you got through this episode. Don't be mad at us. We just took a stroll through memory lane. Just remind people. But with that, enjoy the games on Sunday. If you do watch them, I know some people are just going to be like. Also, what is this weird thing about like the Bucks fans are expecting us to root for them because there are NFC South counterparts? What? No. Go get fucked. Like, I hope Aaron Rodgers throws for 5 touchdowns. And I don't even like the Packers or Aaron Rodgers. So
man, fuck the Bucks, man. I don't give a shit.
Because Lord knows exactly what we need is Tom Brady in another fucking Super Bowl.
He won. I mean, he has played in 43 playoff games. Think about that shit. That don't make no sense. 43 playoff games, man.
That's almost 4 NFL full seasons.
Bruh, that don't make no damn sense, man.
That's insane. Get him out of my face. What was almost the Saints quarterback this season if Drew would have stayed away?
Bruh. Ooh, Saints, man. Saints fan.
Would have been eating my fucking
They could have kept that fucking news right there. They could have kept that shit to themselves.
Would have been eating my avocado ice cream like Kanye was in the car, bruh, in the truck.
Oh boy, being a Saints fan is something, bro.
It's something, bro. It's always something. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. I hope so. If you're a listener, supporter, if you've gotten your mask, I know almost everyone's posted, on Twitter with their picture. If you got your mask, please post it on Twitter. Add us at the account. If you hadn't gotten your mask, and if you are a donator, Patreon, reach out to Ryan and I. There's still some left, so we can get them out to y'all. We want you guys to have them. And hopefully, if everything continues to go well, there's going to be more merchandise on the way. With that, we're out of here. Be safe. Be careful. We're out.
Peace.
Episodes we recorded in a while.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Remember to use code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Place your money line, prop, or parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Iowa only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.